Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this virtual journey with Belmond around our portfolio in Italy, in Southern Europe. My name is Filippo Marongiu. I'm the Area Senior Sales Manager for Italy and Spain, and here you have my contact details and my LinkedIn handle so we can stay in touch as well via social media. I look after North American market, Canadian market, and Middle East. So those are my areas of responsibility. So please do reach out to me whenever you need or you have an inquiry so I can assist you accordingly. As I mentioned, today we're going to focus on our Italian peninsula where Belmond has 8 properties. So we're going to start in Venice and finish in Taormina. But with this map, I also want to remind you that we do have a presence in Spain, in Mallorca with La Residencia, and in Portugal on the island of Madeira with Ritz Palace. I'm going to start now presenting Venice to you. So welcome to La Serenissima and welcome to CIPRIANI. CIPRIANI really is the exclusive escape in Venice. It's located 5 minutes away from San Mark Square, which is the hustle and bustle of Venice. And that is really the reason why this is a peaceful sanctuary for our guests, and has been a peaceful sanctuary for many years because of this exclusive and private location. Its unique assets such as the Olympic-sized pool and the private gardens really make it very special and appealing, especially during the summer months. So the Olympic-sized pool was actually a mistake by the architect who designed it, who mistook feet for meters. So really that has become one of the most iconic mistakes in that sense that one could make. Our Casanova gardens are extensive, and you can also find a vineyard inside. So it's really a beautiful place to unwind and relax in Venice. The property is really extensive in terms of grounds. You can find so much space and so many options in terms as well of food and beverage options. We have, in fact, 4 restaurants on property. When we talk about rooms and suites at the CIPRIANI, there is a wide variety. CIPRIANI really has 96 keys in total. It's one of the largest properties in our Southern Europe collection. Dogaressa Suite and Palladio Suite are the pinnacle of luxury at the property. The Dogaressa Suite with its views over San Mark, and the Palladio Suite fully covered in marble with an extensive private terrace with jacuzzi and views over the lagoon. When we talk about food and beverage at the CIPRIANI, you are presented with a wide array of options. The Oro restaurant, which is Michelin star, down to as well in Porticciolo or Chips Club, which are more relaxed yet refined options at the property for a lovely lunch overlooking San Mark Square. Now, in terms of news for the property, in 2021, Venice celebrated 1,600 years from its creation. So that was quite an anniversary. And we welcomed a wonderful collection of iconic images by Terry O'Neill to pay homage to the connection between the CIPRIANI, Venice, and the glamour of Hollywood. As you know, Belmond is all about experiential travel. So we have created several new experiences called curated experiences, which are available all year in our properties and specific to the destination. So in this case at CIPRIANI, one of my favorites is really the Giudecca behind the scenes, where you can uncover some of the techniques that are used to create the gondolas. Now from Venice, we are reaching Portofino. We are in the region of Liguria, and we do have 2 iconic properties there. Splendido, it's the Grand Dame of the Italian Riviera. It's really one of the most iconic Italian properties. And Splendido Mare, its sister hotel, but it's really more a guest house with only 14 keys located at the heart of Piazzetta in Portofino. The 2 properties really differ because the Splendido is more of a classic glamour, while the Splendido Mare, it's more of a sophisticated yet casual retreat, but in a very buzzy atmosphere, which is the center of Portofino. While the Splendido, it's more relaxed and there is more privacy because you are secluded from the vibrancy of the heart of town. If we take a deep dive into Splendido Mare, we're going to see its characteristics in full. So really, we're going to cover its food and beverage offering with Dav Mare, and really some of the experiences that make it even more exciting as a new opening. And I remind you that this property opened this year, actually, in 2021, after 2 years complete renovation. The Ava Gardner suite is the pinnacle of luxury in the property, really is the top suite, and it's named after one of the most famous actresses during the 50s and 60s in Hollywood. Really represents that charm, and those incredible views from the terrace really make for a fantastic stay in Portofino. In general, the quality and the level of details in all the rooms is unsurpassed in Portofino. In fact, Loro Piana and Rubelli have participated in this renovation to actually complete the look of all our rooms and suites, which scream really luxury, but in a very understated way. As I mentioned, Dav Mare is our restaurant on property, and really this is a great collaboration between a famous 3 Michelin star family and our culture of relaxed sophistication and understated luxury. So you can find recipes that an Italian mama could make, but of course elevated to a 3 stars level and expertise. When we talk about experiences at Splendido Mare, I like to mention 2 specific ones which really set the property apart and give it more character, more soul. The complimentary boat tour on board of our traditional fisherman's boat is really a spectacular activity. It's complimentary for our guests, and really it's a way to discover the surroundings of Portofino. The second experience I want to mention is really the Paraggi Beach. This is complimentary again for our guests at Splendido Mare. Access to this beach, which also features right next door a very famous and important restaurant called Langosteria, which really is the place to be also for Italians during the summer months, and creates this very chic and vibrant atmosphere especially during the summer months, but also during spring. Now we can really talk about the true icon of Portofino, which is the Splendido, the sister property of Splendido Mare, and really the grand dame of the destination. It's a grand Mediterranean feeling, and its facilities really represent a statement-making property which has never ceased to impress its guests. The top suite of the property is the Dolce Vita suite. It has a private garden and sweeping views over the bay of Portofino, and also it is designed with a modern touch in terms of furniture. So really you are in your private coveted space in Portofino. The rooms and the suites at the Splendido are really bright and spacious and tell you really the story about the Bay of Portofino. From 95% of our rooms, you have a sea view and a specific view over the bay and the castle, the brown castle right in front of Portofino. So definitely it becomes a statement making in terms of views already. La Terrazza is our iconic restaurant at the property and really features some of the freshest ingredients the region has to offer. In terms of news for the property, this year we welcomed a new corner in our gardens. It's the Dom Perignon Belvedere, which is located right at the top of our gardens and with fantastic views over the bay, and really is the first of many collaborations with LVMH brands, in this case with Dom Perignon. From the Ligurian coast, we are reaching Tuscany, and specifically we're going to cover our 2 properties there, starting with Villa San Michele in Florence in the hills of Fiesole, and then heading 1 hour south to reach Castello di Casole, which is just 20 minutes from Siena. So Villa San Michele is a former monastery of the 15th century, located in the hills of Fiesole, 15 minutes from downtown in Firenze, and really it features only 45 bedrooms. So it's a really intimate property, and as you can see, really there is this common thread between our hotels, which tell us about the secluded allure of these hotels, and not really located in the center of towns, but feature large outdoor spaces outside of the city centers. So Villa San Michele is definitely no exception, and you can find, again, some very large Italian gardens, infinity pool from the top of the hill, and also a 3-bedroom private villa on the same grounds of the hotel. This is one of my favorite shots of La Residencia, because it really tells you how this property is built uphill. And in fact, all these private gardens that you can see from here are from the junior suites of the property. That's the majority of our inventory here. So you have your privacy, exclusivity, and just 15 minutes from downtown. As I mentioned before, Limonaya Villa is our 3-bedroom on the same grounds. So this is a fantastic option, especially during this period in COVID times, really, because it allows a family or a group of friends to have their own privacy and decide whether or not to use the facilities of the property. And at the same time, you can decide to head down to Firenze for some shopping and sightseeing, and then be back into your private sanctuary. So I love this option, really, because it gives you so many alternatives during your stay. So perfect as well for a long stay. I would suggest 1 or 2 weeks in this villa would make for a memorable experience. When we talk about rooms and suites at the property, really we embody the Renaissance times, and the characteristic which is more coveted in this property is the outdoor spaces. I would say that 80% of our accommodation options have an outdoor space or a little garden or larger garden for some suites. So definitely this is a great characteristic of the property to have. La Loggia is our main restaurant and really is one of the most coveted places and hotspots in town to eat, and very inspiring views from there, because the place has this magical perspective over Florence. So I would describe Villa San Michele really as a change of perspective in terms of compared to being in the center of town. In terms of what's new at the property this year, we have a new pizza place right in our gardens, which is very exciting. It gives something a bit more casual as well to be had, while alternating it with a more formal dining experience at La Loggia. When we talk about experiences as Villa San Michele, we really need to take in consideration the artisans which work in town since really centuries. And this is a very important part of our experience, of our way of interpreting the town. So definitely the art of making tour, it's one of my favorite to be told and shown to our guests, because really it helps you and it helps them to really be immersed in the destination and in the culture of the city of Florence. Just 1 hour away, 1 hour south, we find Castello di Casole, a 39-bedroom castello, really a large estate once belonging to the Visconti family, the famous noble Italian family, which really represents a summer retreat for all our guests. And it is a fascinating property because it has such a great location in terms of visiting the little towns around San Gimignano or Volterra, or truffle hunting as well is a great experience to be had at the property. And really it represents a fantastic option when combining to Rome or heading south as well to the Amalfi Coast. This is a great centric location in terms of looking at the map for Italy. Again, a very extensive place, a very extensive and expansive resort in itself. And really this year we had a couple of great news that I'm going to share with you in a few moments. But really this property, I would suggest it for somebody who wants to really unwind and relax. And it represents, in my opinion, a great last stop in any itinerary before going back. Perhaps from Castello di Casole, you could head then to Rome and then catch your flight, if it's a long haul flight, just to be, you know, on a very safe side in terms of just 3 hours away from the property. When we talk about suites at the Castello, we really have a wide array of options again here. Exclusive suites are some of the top accommodation options, but I can also mention the Limonaya suites, which form a beautiful exclusive place if taken in exclusivity. We have 5 Limonaya suites, and you can create your own private villa within the resort. So very exciting. But in general, all the rooms represent really that Tuscan allure with the terracotta floors or the original beams on the ceiling. When we talk about dining experiences, again, here it's a feast for the senses, because really you're looking at as well products which are cultivated and grown on properties, such as we make our own wine, which is Sangiovese 100%, and we also make our own olive oil, which you will be served with during lunch and dinner at the property. What is new this year? We have actually 2 brand new additions to our Castello di Casole. One is the Emporio del Castello, which is actually a very fascinating spot, which resembles kind of a grocery store where you can find the finest products of the region. We pride ourselves of being very local in Belmond, so we want to be local and authentic and genuine in our service and in the offering, especially in our F&B. The second addition that I wanted to mention is really the rose garden. We just planted about 4,000 roses at our entrance of the Castello di Casole. So you will be greeted by this incredible colors and scent when you arrive at the property from this year, 2021. Now we leave Tuscany, we reach Amalfi Coast. We are, of course, in the area of Ravello, which is the tea room. I define it as the tea room of the Amalfi Coast because it's elegant, exclusive, private and secluded. And here we find the Caruso with these sweeping views over the coast from its iconic pool. And really the Caruso, it's no different than other Belmond properties. Again, we see coming back this common thread of intimate property. This is just 50 bedrooms, very, very large gardens and grounds with olive groves and orange trees and lemon trees all around the property itself. So really, this is a high up from the level of the sea, and you have these incredible views over the Amalfi Coast. In my opinion, this is a great stay for 4 nights minimum, really. Use it as a base and then explore Capri, Sorrento, and other destinations on the Amalfi Coast. But use this property, I would suggest, as a base and then explore the surroundings. Again, here we offer a wide array of suites, exclusive suites, and also a private 2-bedroom private villa called the Villa Margherita on the same grounds. But the exclusive suites really can create, again, that private place. We have 3 of them, 1 close to each other. It's a great way to have your privacy within the resort. And again, the views that you can have from these suites and rooms are really spectacular, and the interior design, again, represents very much the essence of the location. The Belvedere restaurant and the arcade bar are some very iconic places to visit and to spend great time at the Caruso itself. This year, we have a new beach club, actually, which is a very exciting news. We just inaugurated it this summer, and it's about a 30-minute transfer complimentary offer by the hotel from the property to reach the beach club, and you will have the chance now to also combine the privacy of our resort with the connection with the sea itself. Another very exciting thing, a very fun activity is the fact that we do have now a new colleague is Mama Maria, who has set up her corner to create the most amazing homemade pasta in our Ristorante Belvedere. So she will be greeting you for pasta cooking classes and pasta tasting, which is really one of the iconic ingredients on the Amalfi Coast. When we talk about experiences here, we cannot forget about Naples, which is just close by. from just an hour away from our property, and you can explore this very mysterious and fascinating town in new and different ways. So we have the keys to some of the most interesting palazzos and experiences that can really open up a new world to the cultivated traveler. Last but not least, we are heading now to Sicily. So we're going to visit Villa Sant'Andrea and Grand Hotel Timeo, both in Taormina. So this is really the top asset of Belmond in Sicily. The fact that we do have two properties which are very different from each other, but they are in the same location. So this makes us very special in the destination. Grand Hotel Timeo, it's really, again, a grand dame, a grand Mediterranean palazzo. This property really is for somebody who wants to have everything walking distance. So the cafes, the restaurants, the bars, and the activities which are really 5 to 10 minutes walking distance. And especially when there are international performances in Taormina, they're all held at the Greek Amphitheater, which you can appreciate from here, which is just next door to our property. So very, very unique location for Grand Hotel Timeo. Again, the common thread returning here, as I mentioned before, very large grounds, very large gardens, and superb views from its terraces. This was a private home back in the days, actually a private palazzo, and then transformed into what it is today, a grand hotel. So as I mentioned, very large gardens, and these are some of the most fascinating spaces in our portfolio. When we talk about top suites at Grand Hotel Timeo, we really have to mention our presidential floor, not just our presidential suite, because you have the ability to take the entire floor for you. 4 suites combined together and having the most incredible private space and private area within the resort, with a 250 square meters terrace overlooking the Etna volcano and the Bay of Naxos. Again, all the rooms feature this very spectacular views over the sea and the Etna volcano. In fact, this property has a specific location which cannot be matched in Taormina, because you have the most comprehensive view of the Etna volcano very clearly in front of you, and the sea as well. There is also a separate wing of the hotel called Villa Flora, which you need to be aware of, composed by 30 bedrooms, offers a great entry-level price for your clients to experiencing the property. Grand Hotel Timeo offers a wide variety of options in terms of wining and dining, from Michelin star cuisine at Otto Gelling to the Ristorante Timeo, with the most inspiring views from its terrace, again overlooking the Mount Etna and the sea. And really, when we talk about romantic experiences in general, our properties are really the epitome of that romantic escape, and the golden age of the romantic escape, we could call it that way. And really, the Timeo is one of the most inspiring and loved hideaways for honeymooners, but the other properties really don't make a big exception, and they're very similar in terms of style and in terms of allure. This year, we inaugurated actually a new corner, a new ristorante, a new restaurant called Giardino di Bacco, where you actually fuse some of the most delicious local ingredients with a live cooking. So it is more entertaining as well for our guests. We have inaugurated as well beautiful light sculptures in our garden, which has delighted our guests during the summer and the first months of autumn this year. Sister property just 1 mile away from Grand Hotel Timeo is Villa Sant'Andrea. This property differs from Grand Hotel Timeo because it's right by the sea. It was a private home, so it maintains that charming, cozy, intimate feeling of a private mansion, but its connection with the sea is really what stands out and sets this property apart. Villa Sant'Andrea is really a private beach residence. This is what the property is. The restaurant as well is connected to the sea is right there, and you have beautiful and private cabanas as well on our beach, so if you want that extra layer of privacy. The rooms and suites are all located facing the sea. Actually, 95% of them are, and so it's beautiful feeling to wake up to the sound of the waves of the Mediterranean. And as you can appreciate, really, the property is designed to embrace the coast of Taormina here. Also here, when we talk about top suites and presidential suites and really the pinnacle of luxury in our properties, we have a great variety. And I will also mention something which is a new addition to our inventory this year. But really all the suites feature these very bright spaces and represent the charm and the colors of the Mediterranean. That's really what we try to convey at Villa Sant'Andrea. Ristorante Oliviero is a statement maker and really one of the top restaurants in Taormina in terms of experience. That sound of the waves while you're having your meal, it's something very special that our guests always love to experience. In terms of news, I mentioned before, we just inaugurated this year, this June, a 2-bedroom presidential pool suite, which really is the top luxury option at the property itself. So both this fantastic private pool, infinity pool overlooking the Bay of Mazzaro. I want to conclude this presentation by presenting you quickly what is the best way to combine all these properties together. It's called the Grand Tour. I know many of you are aware of this, but it's a way to combine all the hotels with 7 nights minimum and minimum 2 properties. You will get a guaranteed rate, and normally it's about 10 to 15% off the best available rate. So it's not always available. I suggest you use it, especially in the shoulder season months, which would be April and would be May as well in some cases, and then October and November. That's a great value for money, and it's the best way to combine all the properties. Especially I would use it if you have those clients who are first timers with Belmond and maybe want to discover at an acceptable and appropriate for them price point. This is a great idea as well to introduce them to our world. So I thank you for your attention. I hope this was inspiring, motivating, and informative at the same time. So definitely keep in touch. Thank you for listening to this presentation. Anything you need, please do reach out, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you.